Hi everyone, so as promised I'm going to do a bridal series. The first one in the bridal series is Bobbi Brown. This is the Bobbi Brown Hydrating Face Cream. I'm using that on my Louise Young foundation brush. So because it's hydrating, it can be used as a primer. Anything that's going to help your foundation, give your foundation something to hold on to, is a primer. If you're finding that your foundation brush is making your foundation streaky, try putting your moisturiser or primer on with your brush beforehand. I'm using Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation. This colour is Sand. Quite a light foundation, quite sheer, but also reasonably yellow tone, because the thing with flash photography is that it can really enhance the pinky tones in your skin, so it's good to kind of knock those back a bit if you have a lot of pink in your skin. So when it comes to bridal makeup, I mean, most people just want to look like a more beautiful version of themselves rather than someone else. I mean, I totally advise against doing something really dramatic on your wedding day, because you know, you may regret that later on when you get your pictures back. But also, you know, often men say they don't like a lot of makeup, and you know, that's not really true, because sometimes they don't realise, you know, what's makeup and what's not. But I think it's fairly true to say that they'd be quite shocked if you were sort of a natural girl and all of a sudden you turn up with smoky black eyeshadow and red lips. So I would avoid any major differences. So now, I'm never one for palettes that mix lipsticks and blushes and eyeshadows, because I always find that the eyeshadow cracks or the blusher cracks and then it ruins the lipstick or concealer or whatever you've got that's cream. But these Bobbi Brown ones are different because you've got here, I mean, obviously you customise them, so you choose which colours you go in, but the genius bit is that your lipstick has a little protective thing over the top, as does your concealer. So if anything cracks, which hopefully it shouldn't, but if anything cracks, it's not going to go in your cream products. So I'm using a 217 brush, and I'm going to go straight in for the palest colour here, which is called Bone, and that's a matte colour. And this is my base, or my primer, whatever you want to call it, and I'm putting this all over the lid. I've got two nice browns here, and they're both kind of slightly ashy tones. I'm going to use a little bit of the darker one just on my brow, just to define them, on an angled brush. And you may notice the way I'm kind of feathering. Now, using a 226, I'm going to use the middle brown colour. And I'm just going to put that really softly through the socket. So now I'm using 217, I'm just going to blend that into the bone colour underneath. I'm just blending this top edge here, just where the colour meets the bone colour underneath. This is Mahogany Ink Long Wear Gel Eyeliner, which is a brown, quite a warm brown. Wonderful thing about these liners is that they're waterproof. So if you're a crier, then this could be the go for you. So this brush is a Louise Young fine liner brush. So now I'm going to curl my lashes. I'm fairly sure that you can go into Bobbi Brown and book your trial makeup for your wedding free. So it's definitely worth doing. This is Bobbi Brown No Smudge Mascara. I'm using black. Now I'm going to use my concealer here. This is another Louise Young brush. Just putting a tiny bit of that under the eyes. This is the Bobbi Brown Creamy Concealer that you all know I love so much. From my Bobbi Brown University palette, I'm going to use a tiny bit of a darker foundation. This is the foundation stick, just to create a little bit of a soft contour. I'm just taking that up the face and onto the temple. Obviously the difference between using a bronzer and a foundation is that a foundation is that little bit more subtle. The colour I used is Warm Almond, which is really quite a dark colour, but obviously once you've blended it into the skin, it just gives you a nice sort of warmth on the cheeks. Next I'm going to use this bright pink colour, that's my blusher. I'm using my 165 for that, and this is just going to go on the apple of the cheek. So I normally put my blusher on quite strong and then blend it down, and then I reapply it again. You find that if you don't layer your blusher, it's the first thing to disappear. So put it on quite strongly, blend it a lot, and then reapply some more. So I'm just going to blend this in with a Clinique brush. Just going to finish off under the eyes now. So I'm using, again, my lighter brown, and I'm just going to put this just along the lashes, really softly, and back in with our concealer to just clean up that area. Now, really, really important, I think, to remember is not to choose any products that have a lot of light reflecting properties in them, because you will find that if your photographer uses any kind of flash, you're going to appear to have white rings around your eyes. And also, likewise, some mineral products can do this. I know that, for example, if you use mineralized skin finish powder from MAC, it does not photograph. It photographs like you've got the shiniest skin ever, so avoid that kind of product. And also things like Touche Eclat. Anything that has a lot of light reflective particles in it is not going to photograph very well. So while you can go for a soft sheen, that's fine. You don't want to go for anything ultra iridescent or ultra light reflecting. So if it says illuminating or light reflecting, give it a miss. Now I'm back in with my mascara for the bottom lashes. And then onto the lips. Now a lot of people really want their lipstick to stay on all day. This is a really tricky subject for me because I don't like long-lasting lipsticks, because I find that they don't last very nicely. They might last all day, but they end up going cracked or cakey, or they fade in the middle and leave a ring around the edge. And I just feel that it's much easier to just top up a soft gloss that looks beautiful and you know, natural all day long. I have here pink beige. You see that middle colour, and that's what I'm going to use. And now to finish, I'm going to powder with a loose powder. This one is pale yellow. So another really good tip is to, if you're having your hair up, put a little bit of foundation on your ears, because sometimes ears can get red if it's too cold, or if you're feeling really flustered. And now I'm just going to go all the way back and just put a tiny tap more eyeshadow in. Now remember what I said, that the more you layer, the longer it's going to last. So it's really important to let it settle on the skin and then go back and apply a little more and blend it. So there you go, nothing flash, nothing tricky, just safe but pretty is always what I recommend anyway. I call it natural but with definition. So give it a go. I mean, we're going to do a series of these because obviously this look isn't for everyone. Some people like a little bit more, some people like a little bit shimmer. If you do like the this Bobbi Brown look, you can get yourself down to the Bobbi Brown counter for a makeup trial. And as I said, this is a genius thing. It's pretty much everything you need in one little kit. You can even get your foundation to fit in here as well. I mean, I didn't, I used a liquid foundation, but if you're going to use like the foundation stick, you can get it to fit in here, which is just brilliant. So I hope it's been useful, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks, bye.